Thank you. Thank you very much, Nata, for having me. And it's a pleasure for me to be part of this Civic Education Week of Georgia and of Eastern Partnership in general. I will, as long as the physical energizer is not kind of possible, but I will mentally energize you in peace building. So that's another great point I would say. So majority of the participants are Georgians, but we have also like participants from Germany. So that's why I will just like keep speaking in English as we said before, as we arranged before. And I guess all of us are speaking in English. So if there's something, you can all the time approach to me, and I can also like contribute with some small bit of translation if something is unclear and if something is not much understood. Now I will share my screen because I just like prepared some short presentation for you to make it more visualize the process and more like interactive. So today we will talk about peace building and peace building practices in general, and what tools, approaches, and methodologies they are in order to ensure that peace building is possible and to ensure that peace building is implemented. Okay, it takes a while. So here, I would really love to get to know each other before we start like active working together. So just a very short presentation of your name and where do you feel local. As long as the group is not that big, I'm pretty sure we can go through that phase as well. So who will be the one starting? Maybe I can start and then hand over the award to the participants. Starting from myself, my name is Kwanza Davitelashvili. I will be facilitating the process today. I'm working for Civic Education Teachers Forum, as Nata mentioned already, and I feel local in Tbilisi and in Gori as well, which is my hometown. I will pass the word to Tamar.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tamar Baushadze. I'm from Georgia, from Batumi, and I'm a civic education teacher. My school's name Euro 2000. It's a Georgian German school, and peace building for us really, really important. It's really a way what we chose. Thanks a lot.
Tamar, where do you feel local?
From Batumi.
Yeah, maybe there's other places you can feel local. For instance, in my case, I have two places, especially three. I mean, actually three, because I feel local in Barcelona as well.
I'm not sure, but
to me, okay, that's perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Tamar.
Thank
so
you.
Who are you gonna pass the word now? Just choose anybody from the group you would love to pass the word. Tamar?
Tamar is present.
Tamar, anyone you would love to?
Also, I'm from phone because I saw Ekaterina Naroshvili.
Perfect.
Okay, I am Ekaterina. I live in Kutaisi. My hometown is Kutaisi. I teach history and civic education. Many years ago, I studied in Germany, but I love Spanish language very much. And Barcelona is my dream city. And my hobby is studying languages, and English language I studied by myself, but we need this language, and I try every day speak, listen, and be member many of organizations. I am Microsoft teacher and expert teacher and e-twinning active beginner, and I love this space very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And who are you going to pass the word? Give the word. Anyone? So ones who just joined us, we are just like getting to know each other, the group. So there's 2 questions. You should present your name and the place where you feel local. Miss Ekaterina, I'm not sure we can hear you, so I think you're kind of muted.
Excuse me. Okay, I said Barcelona, but now I want to say Machu Picchu because I love this place very much.
Great. So who are you going to give the word from the group?
Again, I don't know. What can I choose?
I mean, you should like give a word to somebody from the group just to proceed with the procedure. Like anybody from the group to get to know us.
Okay, someone.
First name you see in the list, just name it.
Okay. Oh, something. Chocolate.
Okay, thank you very much.
Then I will be chocolate, Ekaterina's chocolate in this case, and I will present myself. Thank you. And I love chocolate, and I feel home and local where is chocolate in the house, anywhere, or in the office. Mostly I live in Georgia and in Tbilisi, and I have never lived like longer period abroad, so, or in like another city of Georgia. So I feel local in Tbilisi.
Thank you, Nado. And who are you going to give the word?
I'm going to give the words to Nana Kubraishvili now.
I'm Nana. I'm from Georgia, from Kutaisi, working in Georgian American International School Progressive. I love Kutaisi, and I always feel local in Kutaisi. I'm teacher, non-formal education in Georgian American School, and also programs manager, non-formal educational programs manager in Georgian American School Progressive. I'm happy that I'm here today. It's important training and very basics for us.
Thank you very much. And who are you going to pass the word now?
Georgi Murvanidze. Or Georgi Murvanidze.
Georgi, please tell us your name and where do you feel local? I mean,
if anyone doesn't feel comfortable to talk in English or present themselves in English, just say in Georgian and we will briefly translate what you say in Georgian into English, because we have participants from Germany as well. Georgi, თუგნებოდ ქართულად ვითხარით.
So maybe
maybe someone who wants to present themselves and we proceed on that way, because sometimes it is like a problem with the mic.
Yes. Also, like you can use a chat and we can see from there. So maybe someone else who will volunteer to present themselves. Maybe Nino, let's introduce yourself, please.
Okay, I have problems with my microphone today. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to see you all today. My name is Nino Maisuradze, and I teach civic education. And my hometown is Tbilisi, and I feel very local here.
Thank you very much, Nino. So, who are you going to pass the word now?
Let me have a look. Lika Bayashvili.
Hello to everyone. I'm Lika Bayashvili from Tbilisi. I am not a teacher at school. I'm international teacher of English and Georgian for my foreign students, and I'm active teacher for international students, and I also have a lot of projects for my students and also their friends, and I would like to join in your collaboration.
Great. And where do you feel local?
Yes, I'm in Tbilisi, yes.
So you feel local fully in the capital?
Yes.
Perfect. So who are you going to pass the word? You choose participants.
I am in international projects, and I found that there is also in Georgia this connection, and I found Ekaterina Naroshvili, Mrs. Ekaterina, and I found your passcode, and I got email from here.
Yeah. No. My point was like, who are you gonna give the word to present themselves from the group? Just like to say a name of one of the participants who has not really said anything yet to present. Like me not give the word to you.
Actually, I am new in Georgian collaboration, but I already know all of the international leaders in these meetings, and I met only Mrs. Ekaterina Naroshvili, and I don't know anyone else.
Yeah, you didn't understood me right. So ანუ უბრალოდ უნდა დაასახელოთ რომელიმე მონაწილე, რომელიც არის ჩვენთან შეხვედრაზე, რომ მანვაც წარგვიდგინოს თავის სახელი და ადგილმდებარეობა საერთოდ სკოლა.
Okay. Rusudan Burjanadze, maybe.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye.
Miss Rustan, just introduce yourself, please. So I think there are some connection problems. So if there's something like there's some other problems occurs, you can all the time use the chat. So who hasn't really said anything? Maybe like just without us telling you, just introduce yourself, your name, and where do you feel local? Maybe Lizzie? Just share with us.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you today. I am Liza Partonia from Zugdidi Samegrelo, and I am a student of international relations. I'm studying in International Black Sea University. I am freshman student now, and I would like to say that I feel local in my homeland, Zugdidi.
That's great.
And I will add that this subject, peace building, is new for me, but very interesting because of my field of studying. So it's fine to see you here. And I will say that Guanta was my facilitator how many days? 2 days ago.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's true. So thank you, Lizzie, for sharing. And I would give a word to Svea to tell us about herself and where does she feel.
Hi, so this is Maybrit and me, and we are both volunteers for CETF. And yeah, we're from Germany, but currently living in Tbilisi. And yeah, like supporting the CETF, preparing our own workshops and having a great time. Yeah.
So where do you feel local now?
Oh, good question.
Germany.
More Germany or more Tbilisi?
Right now, more Tbilisi, I would say.
Or more Rustavi girls.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing, Svea and Maybrit. Now
Guten Abend. Finally,
okay, great. So is there anyone here who hasn't really said anything, like who hasn't really introduced himself or herself? Otherwise, we can proceed with the process. So as we said, like today we will talk about peace and peace building in general. And before we get into the topic deeply, I would really love to hear what is your perception and what you feel like, what is peace building in general. So here I kind of prepare the idea board for the participants. Now I will share the link of the idea boards to you. Like this, you will have an access. I'll share the idea board to the chat. And could you please also like follow the link, and you will definitely see the screen of the idea board. Do you see the screen right now on my computer? Is there the screen of the idea board or not shared? Can you have an access to it?
Yes, we know.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. So as you see on the idea board, there's like a peace and peace building. So what is peace for you? You should just like press the plus, the green plus next to it, and write whatever you feel like peace is for you. And you should do the same for peace building. What is peace building for you? You just press the plus and you'll be able to write it. So I can see that there are 2 options already. So if you agree on one of them, you just like a press plus and like, and this means that I just share the same values. Let's have like 3 minutes for that, and we can later on evaluate what we have.
Well, I have a problem here. I pressed the plus, but the thing is I can't write anything because I just see the hand, you know, and I can't type there. So I was just...
I have same problem. I can't write.
You can write.
Yeah, I can't type.
You cannot type.
Yeah, that's the problem, because you just see the hand and it's not allowing you to type something inside.
No. I mean, for typing, you should use another note. So if you like agree on the certain note that is written, you just can like it. But if you want to,
no, I just want to write a new one, but I can't do that. That's why I was asking. You know, I just press plus, but...
okay, that's weird. Are you using the phone?
No, I'm using computer.
Okay, so you press the plus, green plus, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yes, same.
Oh, that's weird, because there's people like
okay, no problem.
It doesn't show you that it can like types, but you can actually type when you stand there.
Thank you.
Great, we have quite answers already. So we'll wait 1 more minute and we can just present. Okay, so maybe like quickly we can start presenting, and meanwhile you can proceed with the peace building for me part. Like this, we will be right on time. So who wants to present what's written in purple? What is peace for the group? Any volunteer who wants to read and present?
Kwan-san, can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Tamar. Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, I thought for now, and I wrote. So for me, it's a lifestyle way what I chose in my life, and it's really, it's a really process for us. It's really what we need all day, always, all time, all minutes, all seconds, and it's for us who we are, humanity, really, yeah. And so for us, it's a protection. It's important for me. It's a day by day. I can say that it's a process for us. Chance to be great.
Thank you, Tamar. Can you please share? I mean, just present the whole plate, like whole purple, not only yours but everyone's. Like piece.
I saw it's a process, harmony, freedom, democratization, sorry, good government, human rights, doing everything to make the world a better place, it's a process, freedom for violence, having home and living without heavy weights, openness to resolve conflict harmoniously, solidarity, peaceful. So existence of difference grow, protection of human rights, no war, just love and happiness, and I love this word, and no occupation.
Thank you very much. So very great reflection of peace. Thank you for the group for this very, very nice answers. So now let's proceed with peace building. So what does peace building mean for the group? Who will be another volunteer who will present this table for us? Nina?
Okay, for me, like peace building is to understand the positive outcomes of peace and the negative, results of, conflict. Because when there is conflict and then there is violence, all the society is, damaged. So understanding this is, in my opinion, how to say, peace building, because it's not about feelings, it's not about emotions, it's about calculation, it's about critically evaluating the results that might come as a result of conflict.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. I mean, anything else did you find like a present the whole table, like a whole green table? It's written with us, like the green part, like fully to present, please. So like anything else you would love to add from the green part I said, like the part for the peace building?
Me? Okay, like a way to proceed, freedom from violence. Yes, I think that is also, but what I said can sum up all the answers here.
Yeah. Obviously. Thank you, Nino, for sharing and helping us. So I would say the group has quite a great idea of the peace building and peace in general. So I agree with everything mentioned here. Just like what is very important, that like peace is not just absence of war, and it's way bigger value, or which should be shared from by everybody. And when it's called the peace building, it's a process act when we ensure that peace is there, and when we support, and when with our active citizenship, with our active involvement, make sure that peace is in ourselves, in micro and micro and macro levels. So it's inside us first, and then it's environmental. So we, like civic education teachers and youth workers and people who are working in civic sphere, it's very important to have the tools, methodologies, and approaches quite well deeply rooted in order to make sure that peace is implemented and possible. So that's why we propose this workshop like this. We can talk about the approaches, tools, which will be very useful to base the peace building values in youngsters we are working with. It can be pupils or students or young people we have in touch during our daily lives. So here during this workshop, I will share some useful tools, methodologies, and approaches. So starting with the tools for peace building, one of the major direction I would love to share with you will be the tools for race awareness. So when we say the race awareness, I mean the educational, non-formal educational books, manuals, which will be very much useful when talking about peace building. So what is a peace? So peace in general consists of quite a variety of the very important topics, which starts from conflict transformation, goes to peace building, and ends up human rights education. And all of this together can really end up being, will end up to peaceful societies. So starting with conflict transformation, how to ensure the peace and what can be done and what can be used in order to transform conflicts to ensure the peace in the future. So here I present 3 manuals with full pack of methodology, theory, and practice with the examples, with the different games and activities fully involved in order to ensure that conflict is constructively transformed during our daily lives. It can be a work in the work sphere of us as a teachers or as educators or as a youth workers, and also like as a human beings, as long as the conflict is with us all the time. So those are 3 very important and very useful manuals I would love to share to you as a tool. This is Ticket of Intercultural Learning, Ticket 8 about social inclusion, and Ticket with Youth Transforming Conflicts. Those are manuals of the Council of Europe developed to ensure that educators, youth workers are constructively transform conflicts. So the Ticket for Intercultural Learning is a manual which help us to work effectively in the intercultural sphere and with the people with intercultural, with a diversity of backgrounds. The same for social inclusion, which helps us to involve and include the minority backgrounds and also like people with disabilities in our daily lives, and gives them and makes a space for them to coexist with us. And the Ticket Youth Transforming Conflict is directly focuses on conflict transformation, which will be quite a great tool for teacher while facing the conflicts, maybe at schools or between the between the pupils or among the pupils, or it can be between the colleagues or any kind of conflicts we face everyday lives. Those are manuals I will, which will be available online with PDF version. And once we finish the meeting, I can also share the links of all of these manuals of the Council of Europe, which will later on help you with the process of teaching. As I said, it involves a theoretical part, as a practical part with exercise, role plays, which will be very much useful for you to use as a teachers and educators. Here I will proceed with a peace building. Those manuals are sorry. Okay, I'll proceed then. Also, like if you have any questions, just raise your hands and I can like definitely answer. Those manuals are very, very important and very useful while talking about peace building. And I highly suggest and highly recommend you to use and reflect on that. It's called like Peace Building and Conflict Transformation, a resource book, which involve theoretical information, all theoretical tools. It is well discussed. What is peace and peace building? How can we build a peace? What are the characteristics of conflict and peace? And how can we make peace possible? So, and this resource book comes with methods and games, the practical exercise books, where you can find energizers, where you can find very nice team building activities, where you can find the very, very great conflict transformation activities, which I would say will be very helpful to make your teaching process more effective and plus more diverse, with full of exercises and with variety of the tools to use with the kids. So it will take a while to very deeply go through each activity which the books have. That's why I will like give links afterwards, and like this you can go through each manual and have a very good look at it. So human rights education, which is very much root of the peace building and peace in general. So when we talk about peace, and well, we talk about ensuring peace. Ensuring peace is through human rights education. As if I respect human rights, and if I have understanding and respect, and if I have a values of human rights, that means that I have a fully I'm fully aware of peace and peace building, and that's that I have a culture of peace based in my life. That's why it's very, very important from the very beginning to share the human rights education as a value to our young people. It can be pupils or the people we are working with. Therefore, I'm sharing one of the major manuals for ensuring that children has a value of human rights and has a decent human rights education. The first is Compass, which is a book also developed by Council of Europe, and which includes information about a theory and as a practice about human rights education. I would suggest to use Compass for the people, young people who are like more than 18 years old. So when it comes to school pupils, there's a Compassito, which is specially created for the minors by the Council of Europe. So you can use this manual while developing lessons for about human rights education. And there comes the bookmarks. Bookmarks is a manual for combating hate speech, as online as offline hate speech. So it also includes this theory part, and there is a very, very great practical exercises, which will be very great adding value for your teaching process. What is very great news for the bookmarks, that it's already available in Georgian language. So I can share also the links for the Georgian bookmarks. Like this, you can have access to the Georgian version, and I would say it's more comfortable. So as for the Compass, there's old version of Compass, which is in Georgian, but for now you can have access in Russian and in English and in German and in French. So it's very much like widely translated. Those are the manuals I would really love to have information about. And as I promised several times, I would definitely make sure that you have an access to the links of each of them. Before I proceed with my presentation, I would really love to hear if you have any questions regarding what we discussed with the manuals, or
Oh, thank you very much. It's great books.
Okay, anyone else? Otherwise, I will proceed with my presentation. Okay, great. Then the next thing I would love to share with you is a methodology and approaches for peace building. I just developed 3 different dimensions, which I would love you to have more information about. The first is gamification. Second is digital activities. And the third is youth project and social activism, which can be also a very great route for peace building. So starting with gamification, there's different, quite diverse tools for peace building, which is in the form of games. So when we talk about the games and peace building, someone can think of, I mean, how it's possible, or yeah, I mean, that someone might have concerns about all of this, but I would say those are just concerns, and if you really go through it, you can really find very creative ways of peace building through the games. So what I have here are like board games, simulation games, and role plays, theater methodology, educational escape rooms. The last one is quite modern, and I would really love to have more information about that. So starting here, I gave several examples of especially of the board games and theater methodology and escape room games. So I will start with the board games. Here, for instance, I have a online version of the board game which can be developed offline as well. If you print out the materials which is already there and available. So this is a board game created by one of the organization. It's called like Shocking Group from Estonia. Here I have a link, and I will proceed with the link, and will show you more precisely the board game in general and the content of it. Wait, I think there is like before it is open. Yeah, here. So those are like board games about radicalization and its preventing factors. Here is all the description of the board game with everything with everything needed. Sorry, it's escape room, not the board game. So those are the escape room part. So basically, I would have you ever really? By the way, have you ever played the escape room before? Like anyone? And also, like, I would really love to hear if you have also like heard what is the escape room in general. So if no one has played or no one has experienced,
I think Nino has experienced the escape room whilst we were having this summer camp in Время, as far as I remember.
Yeah. Experience of attending that camp, and that was great experience in my opinion, because we had the opportunity to share our experiences with like I was from Tbilisi, there were other teachers from the regions, and that was really interesting. Like when you get to know people who who have different experiences, well, that's very important. Because
how was it, the escape room experience for you, Nino?
Escape room was a new experience for me, and as I said, with the people I didn't know very well. Well, I only knew them for like 2 days. And that was a nice experience. That was new, and I'm also a new teacher, and that was my first time playing that kind of game. So yes, that was great. And to be honest, I have never used it in the class, but I'm planning to do that in the future because of this pandemic period, and I had no opportunity to really go, a few months we were at school, then we were like online, and that made a little bit complicated things.
Thank you, Nino, for sharing. I will quickly explain what is an escape room. Escape room is a tool which can be also transferred to educational, not only just to entertain and have fun. So educational escape room is a physical activity which is implementing in the room, full of puzzles and clues, and every clue the aim of the escape room is to get out. So get out from the room, but in order to get out from the room, you need to solve different clues and puzzles which is created. And on your way to solving the clues and the puzzles, you are getting information and you are educating yourself in the process. So for instance, the presented escape room, which I'm presenting right now, is about radicalization and extremism. And the whole topic of this game is based on those values. So in the process, you can see there's the bags with the lockers. For instance, on the picture, there are some arrows where you need to find a clue, what's going on in there. So once you find a clue, you find this the code for the locker, and you open the locker, and there's something else in the bag. For instance, in this case, there was a small bag inside with another code you need to break, and so every other code leads you to the new challenge and new puzzle and new problem to solve. So look, there's some stuff also stick underneath the what's called like chairs, and yeah, for instance, there is also like another clock, like another locker is open, and then you have some notes inside, and there's a pens where we have some small letters inside the pens, as you see on the table. So the process is very immersive. So you all the time are trying to solve the puzzle, and you have some small information written on the paper, and which is very much related to the topic. And also you're having fun, but at the same time you educate yourself on the certain issues. In this regard, it's a radicalization, which is also one of the base of the violence and not peaceful existence of the society, right? So for instance, the one we did with Nino, it was about fake news and disinformation. So if you're really really motivated as a teacher, you can also like base these tools and approaches to your learning process. I mean, as I said, I will share all the links, and you should have a closer look to this, to the documents here. And there you can find very much deeply explained how it is working as a tool, and what you can do to make sure that your escape room is implemented at its thorough. So this is one gamification tool, which will be very helpful for the peace building process. And here we have a CFM methodology, which can be presented as a small sketch. It can be theater on educational theater, where participants will have a better understanding of the certain concept. For instance, those sketches you see in the picture is implemented during one of the projects I was facilitating too. So we were talking about nonviolent communication, which is based of peace building. So the tool was a following. We just asked participants, and it can be also implemented during during the classroom. So you can ask the pupils to make a theater of the conflict. So it can be like their interpersonal conflict, or it can be environmental conflict between the groups, or between the countries, or between the societies. So just give them freedom, whatever they feel like implementing. So once they make a sketch, it can last for 2 minutes in general, the sketch itself. Then you can present nonviolent communication. So why it's important to communicate nonviolently to transform the conflicts or prevent causing the conflicts and to ensure the peace. So nonviolent communication, I would say you might have heard about this concept of Rosenberg, of the giraffe and jackal language. So which is also rooted by the sandwich method, for instance, which is presented like when we say when we want to tell someone a sentence which might cause a problem, we should start with positive approach, then proceed with the problem, and also end with a positive approach. Like this, we will ensure that conflict is prevented and peace is maintained. So once you, during the class, once they present the conflict as a sketch, as a theater play, then we presented nonviolent communication, and later on we asked to transform this conflict into by using nonviolent language and how you deal with that. So they go and make another play, and now trying to transform the conflict in nonviolent communication way, and they come back in the classroom and they present it, and using the theater to do that. So I would say during 40-45 minutes, which is a usual duration of the lesson, theater can be a great methodology to make the kids understand the peace, conflict transformation, and nonviolent communication in general. So this is a board game I was telling you before. This is very, very interesting, and I would say very useful for the teacher. And also, like before, here you can find a description and very much like close to the point kind of guide how to use the board game. And also you can also download it and print out and use it during your working process. This is like how it is to be a teacher, life as a teacher. So basically, main as you see, like group size 1 to 4 players, children from 7 to 16, and main topics are discrimination, bullying, students' behavior, and during the process, you can like involve and make the pupils to feel how it is like to be a teacher, and what is what kind of challenges the teacher faces today in general during the teaching process. So here's some situation card which is already created, and there's some materials you really need during the process. There's like everything which is explained and well designed to use and implement during the classroom. And what's very important, you press download the printable game, and you just like press this tool, and it really leads you to the Google Drive, where you have all the materials you will need to create and print out to really make the game possible and to make the game playable. So if you feel like using the gamification methodology, like in this case board games, it will be a great tool to start from this exercise and make it visible and kind of make your kids see how the teacher's life is, and during the process of communication with the kids, what challenges do the teachers face in order to maintain the equal environment for the pupils. So those are the gamification part and the main tools and methodologies to ensure the peace in ourselves, like in a personal level, on interpersonal level, and also environmental level. Any questions regarding to the part of the work of the tools and materials we present now? I think someone was trying to say something, but I'm not sure.
Useful and interesting.
Great. I'm happy you like it. So as long as we present the methodology of gamification, I will go to the digital activities. So how can we what is done and what is implemented, especially during the COVID-19, to maintain the peace and to ensure that peace activism and peace building is implemented, not only on national level, but also internationally. So I will make a good practice example of Youth Peace Week 2021. Which brought together young people from almost around the world to talk about peace building, and why it's important to maintain peace in micro and macro levels, internally, interpersonally, and globally. So this is like a Youth Peace Week of Council of Europe, which was implementing during the first week of July, and I was facilitating the process from Georgian side, and I can say like there were people coming from all over the world, and we shared the values of peace and peace building. And one of the most important part, and I think will be very useful especially for the teachers who are working on peace topics, or who wants to start working on peace topics. Here is an e-learning platform of Council of Europe, where you can just follow. I will just follow the link for you. That's how it looks like. So those are the resources and kind of seminar, session outlines, activities, which are adjusted by the Council of Europe, and which you can use during your teaching process. So here you can see different dimensions, different topics, and it's up to you. Whatever you like to work with, you can just log in, and you can definitely have all the information here. So for instance, when it comes to Peace Week, here you can find whole program of the Peace Week, how it was implemented. And so first you need to register. Actually, I have it open with my account, so I can quickly share and show you how it looks like when you have registration. Wait, I think I shared this. So here are already like implemented, planned activities, which you can definitely use as a teacher, especially if you're if you have like just basic skills of English. It will be very much useful for everybody to use. Here are the e-learning platform of the Council of Europe. So here comes a use-specific, methodology, participants, but what's very important is the program of it, So there's every single material which is used. There are some quizzes, there are some videos you might be interested in watching on human rights education, peace building, conflict transformation. So just now it kind of looks like a bit complicated, but trust me, it's not. So only thing, if you're really much interested, you can go through all these pages and have a good look at it. And I'm pretty sure you'll find very, very useful materials for you to use as a teacher. Okay, so as it's like we were talking about the modern tools, that's why we have it a bit like digitalized versions, and I would say like for you as well, it will be more useful to use. So those are like one of the examples of peace building, which I would love to share with you. And here are use projects and use activities, which can be another great tool for the peace building, and which can be used very creatively by the teacher, especially while implementing different projects. So one of the examples I would love to share about youth project is a youth peace camp, which brings together young people from conflict affected regions. So for instance, in the pictures you see, here are the people hugging each other after the project. And those people are coming from Kosovo and Serbia, and you would definitely have heard about the conflict, which have these two nations. And after the youth project, they spend 10 days together, youth peace camp more precisely. You can see on the picture the attitudes and values they have changed, and impact of non-formal education while talking about peace building. And here the picture next to you, as you can see, there's a lot of people, and among them are participants from Georgia, Abkhazia, and South Ossetia, together in the picture. So there were participants of the Youth Peace Camp 2018, where I was also like facilitating the process, and also like I could say the 10 days we spent together was like one of the kind of breaking point for all of us to ruin the stereotypes and prejudices, and to see that the people from the other part of the border can be very much similar to you. So those are like impact of youth projects in the peace building in general. So as a good practice example of the social activism, I also brought like the cases of Europe and the America. So probably you have also have heard and seen the border of Mexico and United States, as they were like building this wall between these two countries on the border, and the social activists, in order to maintain peace and also like to protest this action, they started to do the swings for the from the people from different parts, and these pink swings you can see on the picture are representing this creativity and the value of peace in general, and how can we can do this with the small actions. We can connect two different sides of the border to each other. And the third I would really love to share, maybe you have also seen this part, but this is the video I would love you to see.
11-ton bridge to a different city, different country, different culture. And it's a live broadcasting from one city to another so that people could meet in real time. It's around 130,000 euros for both portals.
It actually does look like it's a real portal from a movie during these times when it's sometimes challenging to travel, right? So you can actually travel virtually and interact with people virtually. So it connects people from different cities and cultures too, right?
I felt real connection between two countries, between Lithuania and Poland, and people were waving to each other, and someone even danced there. We can see that in Poland and in Lithuania, they live the same life, and people do the same things at the same time.
Just simply interacting through the screen, but without any words. So you can communicate without any words. So maybe something that could be also improved, maybe that people could hear each other.
We decided not to include audio, so it's only visual. And it's an invitation to communicate only in the most universal language possible or known for thousands of years. The language of body language is language that people are using, and it's quite amazing. Portal is an invitation to rise above all prejudices. It's a reminder that we are all inseparably connected, flying together on a tiny spaceship called Earth. I just want people to enjoy portals in the best way they can. I'm not here to tell anyone what should they do or what should they feel. I want to leave space for people to communicate and get the message that they are ready to get.
As you can see, it's a great initiative from Polish and Lithuanian side to connect two different countries and two different cultures and two different people who cannot really understand each other because of difference of the language, but they still communicate. And I think it's a great resemblance of the peace building between two nations. So this is, I would say, like, it's one of the greatest modern tools when we talk about peace building. So it doesn't necessarily that the Lithuania and Poland have a conflict or something politically, but there's all the time some prejudices, stereotypes between the two different nations. But as you can see here from the one of the participants of the video, they say we all look like each other and we do the same thing during the days. We wear the same clothes, and everything is so look like each other, even though they're kilometers away. So I would say this is one of the greatest approach to connect and to create this cultural understanding and peace between two nations. So any questions or something to comment on this part of the presentation?
For me, it was amazing. And I can't actually amazing. Thank you.
That's great. I'm happy you enjoy the process. So as we all discussed during this 40 minutes, we talked about tools, methodologies, different good practices. We talked about the manuals, we talked about the projects, we talked about the gamification, what we can do as a modern tool to build a piece. Now I would really love to kind of brainstorm and to share with us what can you do for peace and peace building. And like before, I will share one more idea board. And can you please share to us if something from my presentation started to be inspirational? I would really love to share with us on the idea board maybe your peace building ideas or activities you would really love to implement as a civic education teacher, or as a student, or as a volunteer, or as an activist who is striving for peace and peace building. The idea is the same. You just need to press this green plus, and you will be able to write your ideas and share it to us. Does everyone has access to the link? I guess if there's some problem.
Yes, I heard.
Mm-hmm.
My idea is write one story together. In between, I had one project, Smart Kids with STEM. I teach me and society for third and fourth grade students, and they wrote we all wrote one story. Then they painted with, and then they make small souvenirs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so great for me. And with my kids from different countries, they all love, and they are smiling. They have same smiles. They love same things, and they sing. And during this presentation, it was so great. I think the international projects, teachers from different countries, we are helping each other, and our students are so creative. They can do everything. They love everyone, and thank you.
Great. So you have, as I say, quite creative students. So it's very nice to hear that they're also like basing the peace values during their school life and the learning process. So I would really love to also like you to see that these other tools we talked together today to use and to be based during this teaching process. So here we have some ideas already presented by the participants, which really like looks very peaceful and great. I will like quickly start presenting, and meanwhile I would say there are some other ideas added. The first, it was I will build peace at home, at school, and in my community each day. That's so great. Theater can be a very powerful teaching tool for peace studies. I cannot agree more. And yeah, I would say for civic education teachers, it would be nice to adapt some different types of arts in your learning process, teaching process. Write one story together. I would really love to hear more about this idea. So what do you mean to write the story together?
Yes, which was my idea. Can I tell this in Georgian language?
Yes, yes, Georgian.
იცით რა საოცრება იყო მეოთხე კლასში რამდენიმე ქვეყნის ბავშვები ერთად დაწერეს აი ეს ასე აღსწავლებია ჩემთვის მაგალითად ინკლუზიურ განათლებაში ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანია აი ფეხმტკივან კურდღელს ეტკინა ფეხი და შემდეგ აი ამ სამყაროში ტყეში და გადაწყვიტეს ხალხმა მისი დახმარება ყველა წერდა რაღაც აგრძელებდა ამ ისტორიას და ჩვენ შეხვდა ერთი ნაწილი. მე ყველამ დახატა ეს სცენები ბავშვებმა, ზოგმა გამოწერა, ზოგმა დახატა, როგორ ეხმარებოდნენ ამ ეს შემდეგ გააკეთეს აი ეს სავარწელი ხო აი ესე იგი თან ჯერ წერდნენ მე სიმღერებს ხზავდნენ რომ ეს გაეფორმებინათ ნიღბებს აკეთებდნენ ხატავდნენ აი ამ ყველაფერს და შემდეგ აი ფიზიკურად გააკეთეს ეს თამაშობდა სუვენირები და გაუცვალეს ერთმანეთს ეს ბავშვობა და ამის წარდგენა კამერის წინაშე როგორ უხარობდით ნუ მე არ ვიცი ჩემთვის ეს იყო მართლა სწავლება იმ თემის რაც ტოლერანტობაც იყო ეს სხვადასხვა კულტურის აი გაუგნებლები რო უყურებდნენ ერთმანეთს როგორ ეცვათ სხვადასხვანაირად როგორ საუბრობდნენ მაგრამ ყველა ერთნაირად ირების ერთ მახსოვს ლიბანელი ბავშვები ყავდა ერთად მეორე კლასში და აი როგორ იღიმოდნენ როგორ ცეკვავდნენ ამათ იმღერეს ხო მეთქი არის მითქართული თავარია იმღერე თქვენ იმღერეს ცეკვავი ისე უყურებდნენ ერთად ისე უყურებთ ერთმანეთს რომ იმ ასაკში ეს რო ჩაიდება ხელოვნურად მე აღარ ჭირდება იცი თავში რაღაცები ჩაკერვა და ემოციურები არიან მოძრაობა უყვართ სიმღერა უყვართ ყველა ხატვა უყვართ ყველაფერი უყვართ და ფოთლები დავავალი ახლა და მოძებნეს ეს ფერადი იმისი ხის ფოთლები პატარა ფოთლები და იმით აკეთებენ ნახეთ ანსკაცებს და ნახატებს რომ ეს გაუცვალოთ რომ ყველას არ შეუძლია ხატვა და აი ეს ბავშვი რომელიც იქ აწებებს იმ ფერად ხის ფოთლებს აგროვებს ამის აკეთებზე ანუ არ ვიცი ეს მე და საზოგადოება ეს და რომ ასე რომ დაიწყება და მაპატიეთ რო ჩავყვავე თავიდან რომ ასე დაიწყება ეს ბავშვები იცი და მე მე-10 კლასში რომ უტენივით რაღაცას ჩვენ ტოლერანტი ვიყავ უნდა იყო ამით არავინ არ ხდება მაგრამ აი საერთაშორისო პროექტებში რომ ურთიერთობა აქვს მიულოცავს გააკეთებს უენებს თავის ხელით აჩუქებს გაწვლის თუნდაც დროშა უდევს წინ და ერთმანეთის დასაცმელს აი არ ვიცი მაპატიეთ რომ გადავაჭარბე მაგრამ ემოციური
Thank you so much for sharing this methodology. It is important to know all the tools and especially those that are adopted and that they work, we know. So it is really good that you shared with your colleagues your experience. Gwanta, if we just need to wrap it up quickly.
Yeah.
So
actually, sorry, I think like I'm already late for 20 minutes. So I would quickly present what's written on the post-it notes and we'll sum up our workshop today. So biscuits are amazing and great tool for peace buildings and wow, that's good. I love it. And when to use already created methodology actively, we can start something new and most importantly, we can adapt it to our children. So I will be happy if the new methodology I presented will be useful for you in the process. And also there is this also teachers and students collaboration and share new experience will be good all the time and also use different activities according to the class and the match to the class needs of the class of course, definitely. So thank you for sharing with us all these ideas to us. Also in the chat, I shared the link of the manuals I presented and also the games I presented to you. I mean, board game and the escape room games. So you can quickly copy paste the whole links and maybe have a good look afterwards after we sum up and hang up with the presentation. So thank you for coming and attending the workshop. And I hope, and I do hope, that the methodology I shared to you will be very useful in your teaching process. If there are any questions, it's the best time for you to ask. Otherwise, we can move to another, and I think one of the last workshops of the the Civic Education Week of Georgia. Thank you very much for listening.
Wednesday, if we kindly ask you to send those links to the participants of your session, it will be good. So it will be more consistent over time. To save them, I will let you. I will give you the email address of all participants, and then we can send it over in upcoming days. So thank you everyone for participating, Gwanza, with this amazing input. We are more than happy to listen, and I'm so sorry that we are limited in time again. It was a wonderful presentation, and whoever will apply those tools and methods in their class, please feel free to share. We are looking forward to see those tools really applied in the classroom.
Thank you. Thank you and goodbye. Have a nice evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye.